Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to show you an autumnal card because we've just gone past the autumn equinox. So Terry Gaines did a very good video and she did a card and I've cased it. She used crumb cake. I've done this card with soft suede. That's the Welcoming Woods stamp set, and that's Every Season Brings Its Own Wonder is one of the sentiments. There's several sentiments in this stamp set. Now these leaves are lovely, but this tells you what a sad case I am. She used these leaves from Gorgeous Leaves. I wasn't going to get this stamp set, but I decided I had to get this stamp set because I really wanted to do these leaves. But also when I looked at it again, I noticed these lovely background stamps, which I'll do in another video, and these gorgeous leaves which look fabulous when they're done in different colours, like the sponge dauber technique, or you can even do the baby white technique and fabulous fall colours come out. So I've used these tiny little leaves from here as well. So this is what the card will hopefully end up looking like, but I've decided to have a crumb cake base this time. Cajun Craze is that piece, and then I've got my sentiment stamped ready because I think that's a really nice sentiment, and this is linen thread here. So I'm actually going to use my stamper artist for this because she just used oh, there are some lovely leaves stamped with the Gorgeous Leaf stamp set. Do you see the lovely colours there? How fabulous they are in the backgrounds. Wow, love them. Look forward to playing with those and doing something with them. So I did stamp the trees here using a large block, but this time I'm actually going to use my stamper artist, because the great thing about the stamper artist is that if you don't stamp correctly the first time, then you can always do it again. I'm just going to check, because I lined this up before I started the video, that these are in the right place, which they are. I just want to make sure they don't. Oh, let's just get this straight and let's get this in the right place. Just move it down a bit more. That's perfect. Okay, and you want to leave a gap at the bottom for where you're going to put the little leaves. So I'm just going to ink up. I don't know if you can see that. You might not be able to quite see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, I'm inking up the trunks with crumb cake. And because I've started with a lighter colour, if I don't think it's the right one, I'm stamping onto Very Vanilla. And that's come out really nicely, actually. Now all I have to do with the stamper artist, as long as I keep it on the same line, is move it to the left until I'm happy with where I want it to be, and I think that's fine. So I can just put my magnet just there, ink up again in crumb cake, and interesting that the lighter colour actually ends up giving you more detail for the trees, which is fab. So I'm just going to, and that one didn't quite come out. Did you see that? It's come out now, second time, but if I was doing that with a block, it would have been tricky. But with a stamper artist, it's great because it just stamps again in the same place. And that means if you make mistakes, you can quickly correct them. So I'm going to put the stamper artist away now and bring back. I have got a Stampin' mat somewhere, but these are from the stamper artist. I've got 2 of these black foam pads and they're great for doing this. So I've just got a clean piece of paper to put behind, which makes a change for me. I'm just going to put my magnet down there so I don't lose it. And I can get rid of that stamp set as well. Right, let's get going with some of the stamping. So Terry started off by using just crumb cake to start with. So this is just to get a base of leaves. So just stamp them and stamp second generation stamping as well. And this is just for the leaves at the bottom of the trees. And just do one more there and perhaps one more there. See how nicely they come out. So that's just the base. I hope, yeah, you can see that. That's okay. Right, so now I'm going to go on and use Cajun Craze, and this time I'm going to do some leaves higher up and at different angles as well. Whoops, they're coming out rather the same. Let's see what we can do to make them a bit different, and then I want some for the bottom as well. And so you've got the pile of leaves at the bottom of the trees, and I really like these leaves. I just think they're so cute, absolutely gorgeous. I haven't seen a stamp like this in Stampin' Up's autumn collection, so it's really great to have that. So that's my Cajun Craze. Now I'm just going to clean my stamp off and go for Bumblebee to give a bit of lightness to the card. And just turn the stamp around so you get it going at different angles. And then I'm going to do some at the bottom. Turn that, you see how quick it is, just stamping straight on like that, and just one down there. Okay, clean it off again, and I'm just going to go now for a cherry cobbler just to give a little bit of a red tinge. I do love red leaves in autumn. Copper Beech is a sort of reddy colour, isn't it? Actually, it's quite similar to the Cajun Craze, which is interesting. So, but I do like the red look. Getting quite a pile of leaves now at the bottom. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. So if I put my stamp pads away, so nice, quick and easy card. Just get my Tombow out and attach this to the Cajun Craze. Oops, let's go behind it. Oops, that was clever. Got some Tombow on the front there. Managed to get that off, which is good. So that's like that. And now I'm going to, if I can find it, so our linen thread now comes in a packet like this. And I think they're 15 yards, 13.7 metres. So that's a lot of linen thread, which is great. So what I'm going to do is just, I think that's enough for tying a bow. And I'm going to be tying the bow this side. So if I do it like that, bring this down a little bit. Now what I do with baker's twine or linen thread is I ground it with my little finger, tight as I can. Ground it with my little finger. And then I tie a double knot first of all so that it's nice and tight, because if you don't do that, sometimes what you find is it loosens up and it's really annoying. So I'm going to give myself an extra bit like that. Tie the bow, come around from the back to the front. Hopefully find that a bit. But because it's grounded, it's easier, believe me, to do. So then I now play with the bow so that it stands out and isn't exactly where I want it to be. So now I'm going to take a glue dot. So we do these mini glue dots, which are really useful, and you can just curl them up a little bit, and that just means you can put your bow exactly how you want it. So I want it to go around like that. I want to tuck that bit of glue dot in. And then I'll just want to cut off a little bit here so that it's even. So I'm going to get my dimensionals for the... In fact, what I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to stick the sentiment down with Tombow. And then I'm going to put the dimensionals underneath the Cajun Craze piece like this, because I want it to be just above and below the twine. I found that when I tried to put glue before to stick this on the twine, it was sort of a bit high up, so I had to do a double layer of dimensionals basically, so I think it's better just to do one layer like this. Otherwise your card might be a bit bulky for posting, which you don't want. So there we go, I can see that those are ready. Just put on that like that, and then attach this to the crumb cake card base. And what a quick and easy card is that. I could have embossed the base if I'd wanted to, but there we go. Now I guess you could put a bit of Wink of Stella on some of the leaves to make them stand out, which would be nice, just to give a bit of sparkle here and there. Bit there. A little bit down at the bottom here as well, and just to give it a little bit of a glimmer here and there, which it just makes the card a little bit more interesting. And obviously you could, if you wanted to, put some embellishments on as well. So there's the finished card. Absolutely. I prefer the crumb cake. I think it's more subtle, and I think that these must be birch trees, because you can